What's good? Foster Gamer, we in here. So far, I like this though.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Cool, I got 2 manuscripts. Still need 1 more of those. Oh, what we got so far? Oh, okay, so I got 1 for logic. Nice. Okay. Alright, I'll do logic for now then. Cause it's like I don't got like anything else. I gotta wait till I find 1 more page.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. I'm afraid she was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
Oh, that's why. Cost is reduced by 3, so I don't lose none. Oh, shit. I didn't
Who could have done it?
That is precisely what I would like you to help us determine, Louis. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you. We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
Not in the least.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Wait, so can I see his vulnerabilities now then? Nope.
Apparently not. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why's that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
He's
Maybe you
capping.
could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Nah, if there's any details I can find out. Cause like I'm gonna go to the room, so.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi. So I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Okay. So what's the name, insert? Alright, let me just so I remember. You and of course you. Y'all are good. They said you two left. But we can never be not cautious. I'm trying to remember with Washington. I think he's another one where logic does not work. He's easily fooled.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Okay.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Alright, so basically once I investigate the whole thing, I just go back to them. I don't think he can provide me any... Well, you know what? We'll see. We'll see. Always got to look underneath the underneath. Kakashi Sensei.
Which four-letter word could open this?
What the fuck? Yo, I'm not tripping, right? What four-letter word can open up that chest? Alright, so assume that the A's in the yeah, assume that the A's in the second part. S-A-R-N. Sorry. Or NARS. Ah, okay. That's my fault. Alright, so first letter, turn to a C. Second letter, third letter, Okay, so looks like I can just fuck around with this. Oops.
Which four-letter word could open this?
Four-letter word? Alright, so I feel like that C's right. What other cars don't exist yet? I'll come back to this later. Alright, what else we got? This shit was weirding me out. This is like, which four-letter word? Like, Foss, since when did you get the get the lines for Louis' words? Like, wait a minute. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Which four-letter word could open this?
Okay, now I was making sure. I was like, Zeus. Yeah. I ain't. boss, you that nigga, yeah. I'm that nigga. I'm that nigga. I'm that dude. Yo, give me my props. I was like, I had to think about that. I was like, wait a minute. I'm like Zeus. Let me guess, there's a Zeus statue somewhere around here, right? Nope. Yep, so give me my props. What's that, more jelly? And that's more water. Which is pretty cool too. Yo, this nigga Motormore probably like, yo, what is he doing? It's like, don't ask, man. Shit, just let me work here. Just watch me work.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Like I say, y'all, make sure y'all look for
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
where all the dead bodies get found. Hey. 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 Bro, it's not that serious.
Sir Jacques Peru? Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
I don't know who that is. But yeah, we went to this girl Elizabeth's room. It was like, yo, look, let's consume this weird stuff, this weird rock stuff. I'm like, yo, why would I want to consume that? Wasn't you just up here?
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Yeah, don't want him getting like anxious. Well, at least they removed the body for y'all. Never mind. Alright. So off rip, the one box we found was missing. Oh, whoa, B. Got to chill, man. Get hooked out here. Clock from before.
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
Doesn't clear her supposed sister. What we got here?
Vials of laudanum. Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight.
Okay, what else we got here? Pistol.
Pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue.
So this is just here.
It hasn't been used recently.
Okay,
Right.
so this gun was just here.
I shall have to find its owner.
Okay, so the letters from before are still here. Hold on.
August 24th, 1792. Elizabeth, I am driven to despair and doubt there is any point in writing to you. I'm not even sure you'll receive my letters. Father controls my correspondence more and more. 3rd November, 1791. My dear sister, the cancellation of our reunion hit me like a stab to the heart. Father told me it was for your well-being, but I can't help but blame him.
Okay, okay. Still getting letters.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
It's light!
Right. I shall have to find its owner.
I know what y'all thinking, like, yo, it's French, so it gotta be that French dude. Like, nope.
Notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
So that's...
A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society.
no real point given the fact that she's dead. Clock. Okay. The what's the name's gone now.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Small, slender generally means it's a woman's hand. So that could either mean Elizabeth was using a knife or a woman stabbed her. So yes, analyzing, kind of don't need to do that.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here?
I do.
Peru? Washington, maybe.
See, one thing I always do when it comes to investigation, I usually look at surroundings first before I go into like.
Must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
That's usually my to-goes. Like I always look to the environment. Because you look at environment first, and then you can look at it, like the body, for instance. So if y'all want me to go off the top with this, check this. So if apparently she got bammed over here, why isn't there blood trail here? That's like one of my instant thoughts. Like, why is this actually here?
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Not only to overpower, but to quickly prevent blood from being led. Like I said, I really don't see no real blood splatters. This looked to be ripped, but I think that was ripped before. It's possible somebody had like a handprint over there and they put the blood there to erase that fact. And then that's another thing. If you overpower somebody, slam them against the wall like this, she could have got thrown against the wall. Or her head could have hit the wall. And then that explains why it's no like blood splatter here. Y'all see me, Detective Foss going to work. Okay.
Knocked over bottle of wine. What kind of plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Briand. It's a great wine.
Negative. Okay then, if that's the case.
I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Yeah, since that's the case and they did that to me. The next skill I use is free now. Since y'all want to be on that bullshit. What are those tattoos? Actually, yeah, examine the hands.
But blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
What exactly? Difficulty 0. So, in other words, I don't need to worry about that.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so translating text I don't think is gonna work in this scenario. I'm gonna use this
She
one.
had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her. The symbol of the living God. Written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age. Unless her mother was a tutor.
Cool.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
Blood could have been hers.
This pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle. No marks or bruising around the wrists. It doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force.
Alright.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose.
See, this is why we got vigilance, guy. I don't need. They're trying to use science. I'm like, nope.
There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. What a strange smell. Her breath smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain.
Nice. Well, not nice, but y'all know what I'm saying.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
Whoa. So, standing behind Elizabeth. And if I go by the way that she fell, or possibly fell, for her to fall on her back, you see the way she's facing. So Elizabeth would have had to have turned around. So she must have had gotten stabbed, pushed against the wall, and then pushed to the ground, I guess.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. The scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body. blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
Man, I feel like I just wasted one.
More tattoos.
No offense.
Similar to those on the rest of her body.
I kind of felt like nothing like that happened, but it's like you never can be too sure about this shit.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Washington was with what's the name now? It's possible Elizabeth could have been gripping the handle of this. I'm gonna look at her hands one more time before I head out.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil.
Alright, so for somebody to overpower her, that's what I'm thinking. It looks like she got thrown. That was good, so yeah, I'm probably gonna do some GTA in like an hour or so. Yeah, I got the house so we can do the heist now. I don't know. I gotta matter of fact, let me text him and see what he's doing. See you, bro. Hit me back later. All right. Matter of fact, say since you here, bro, you can run. You can help me out here. You can run this by me too, God. So, bloodstain over here, but body's here. So somebody manhandled her and put her against the wall, but I don't get why there's no more blood trail from that. Like, that's what's throwing me off here.
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Okay. Look like weird symbols on the walls.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
Well, it doesn't clear her sister. Next up is... Okay, so wait. She got... So what, was she just getting thrown everywhere? Gets thrown into here. Gets thrown over there. Stabbed here. But it says she had no blow to the back of the head.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
But I just stepped all over her body too. The disrespect is real.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose. What a strange smell. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Thorax is the neck. I think no, thorax is like the chest.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Alright, last thing I'm gonna check again is the hands.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
So, blood on the right, but not on the tattooed symbol. Okay. Let me check the handle of that knife again. I'm almost done here.
The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
From the looks of it, it looks like okay. Alright, y'all, so follow me on this. Elizabeth was using the knife, but she got overpowered by her attacker. And that's why it's a slendered hand. Oh, what's over here?
A piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
The color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
So he pays to check areas out. So at some point his mom came into this room. Alright, we're done here.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door. Has Sir finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
President George Washington. It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
Okay. Alright, so in a scenario like this, I wouldn't even start talking to the characters yet. No honest need to yet. You shining.
Map of Vermont.
Yo, what is going on with this dude's voice, yo? Y'all hear that? He said, oh yeah, like when this dude become black, yo? It's, or at least became what's the name from Persona 5? The what's the nigga name? Sinjuro? Oh yeah. They call me Louis.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me.
Of course they won't let me go back to pick up some items.
Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
What will she provide me? I will check on her later, but I'm like, yo, she has nothing of importance to this. Wait, can I go down the steps? Nope.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
In fact, I could just ask Washington.
Monsieur Jacques Peru?
So when it comes to a scenario like this, I can just ask Washington. Because Washington would know know whether or not Napoleon went back to his room. To an extent, at least.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
This dude nervous as hell. That's Elizabeth's room.
President George Washington.
So it was was president always a thing, or did George Washington call it that? Like, and that's how it became a thing. Yeah, but not in most scenarios like this. Usually, the person you probably trust the most is usually the person you should trust the least. That's why they say it's like you keep your friends close, but your enemies. Well, actually, no. Whoever said keep your friends close and your enemies closer, they be capping on that. Alright, I'm gonna risk it.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Damn it. Woo, caught. Got one more royal jelly. Thank the gods. Or God. Either or.
Portrait of George Washington.
Okay, that's pretty. That's pretty arrogant of you. It's like before I go to sleep, I like to look at myself. Like, look at that. Oh, good.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Why would I ask his alibi when somebody just gave me his alibi, basically?
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
I thought you just said you didn't talk to her. Now, he obviously doesn't take a lot.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then?
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue. Greetings, Louis.
Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, because now I know when I asked that Peru guy, it's going to be some drama. Alright, so next up, Napoleon. And again, I know y'all keep asking like, or y'all keep thinking like, yo, why doesn't he just go straight for this Peru guy? He obviously wears boots. And that's the exact reason I'm like, yo, he's the most suspicious. So it's like, why do I need to focus on him right now?
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
It's like, I'd rather take care of the least suspicious and get some clues. Like, for instance, I didn't know George Washington was on drugs, apparently. Or at least was on prescription drugs. Like, we didn't know that.
Monsieur Jacques Peru?
Yes, that's his, man.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. You don't look too good, broski. Ooh.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Machiavelli. I always forget Machiavelli is like really, really old. Like, hey, like, that's mine. Give it back.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Okay. I'm out of coffee? Yep. Alright, so I mean I already knew conviction, but now I know politics. So Napoleon knows a lot about politics. That's actually a surprise on that. I consider them more of like the just take over type.
French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. A cache. There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the High Society meeting organized for the occasion. We shall be able to continue our discussion about our project for a new order for France. I have a proposition to make to you concerning your wish to put a strong leader at the head of France. I trust you to be discreet as to your coming. See you soon. Lord William Mortimer.
So they're pretty much trying to low-key say, oh, we set Napoleon up to be head dude in charge.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hands. Your loving mother, Maria Letizia Bonaparte.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
You funny bad.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not his pistol.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Excuse me for insisting, but if you saw him or her, I'm sure you would have more information than that. It's just that you don't think it can be of help to me.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Was it a woman, for instance? Bearing in mind that all the women here wear whalebone dresses, which is rather noticeable.
A man, I should say. I don't recall seeing the silhouette of a dress.
You see, you saw many things, in fact.
Hang on. Laissez-moi réfléchir. Let me think a minute.
A wig? His height? The sound of his footsteps, maybe.
Ah, his height. Oui, somewhat imposing. A tall man, and straight. As for the rest, I don't know, Monsieur de Richet.
Not to worry. That's already quite a lot. Thank you for everything.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Okay, Napoleon, you gave me a lot. I'm trying to make sure I got everything.
bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Mm.
Sur Jacques Perru.
I guess next.
Monsieur Johann von Wollner.
Actually, no. Next up, Elizabeth. I keep saying Elizabeth. Emily.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Duke Manuel Godoy.
I don't even think he's here.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
Oh yeah, one other reason why I came here was...
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
So I'm supposed to act like that's not there.
Amber.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what just happened?
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband. Displayed like meat. It's disgusting.
Me and he.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain.
Okay.
2 coils circle the lock.
No reason if I can actually find the key.
William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
The Devil's Thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
This is supposed to be the bath? Thought I seen 3. Oh, I did.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How
Or,
awful. The murderer
Sir,
must have had a
50th
serious
cent.
grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, Either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
If I had one more, then yeah.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Yeah, now if I had some more of that royal jelly, no K and Y. Hmm?
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
Not bad, Foss. Not bad at all.
President George Washington.
And George Washington's room is next to Elizabeth.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
Then all of a sudden, like her treasure box missing the one that I took. And y'all see that? Had I probably talked to Elizabeth or whatever, they possibly would have implicated me. Had I went to her room. So more collector's coins.
The alchemist as a young man.
Edward Elric. Full Metal Alchemist. Let me chill.
The signs of obscurantism.
Finally. I'm gonna hold on to that though. In this book.
Golden elixir.
Pretty sure I got enough of those now.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant.
So, Werner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
And she tamed him too.
chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Bro, I'm not about to do all that. We will move away for now. A code, wait.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Right. Oh. Actually, no, because a code has 5 letters in it. Never mind. Because I was about to say. Four letters. Ain't no way it's Zeus again. Say E. So wait, it's a G at the end? Or a C? Okay, let's say is G at the end of that. Nah. So let's say it's a C. Isaac? Hold on, we'll come back to this.
The alchemist is a young man.
Let's just do that. A friend of King Frederick. What's up, Awesome Gaming? Shout to Awesome Gaming, they in the live chat. Four-letter word. Thought it was Greg at first or something like that, but it wasn't no G's. Home. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, no problem, fam. Tell me a little bit about yourself, bro. Cause like usually the people who I get here, like I usually know them.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
And plus, since I'm a small channel, gives you a chance to get to know me as well, etc., etc. Wait, did I try Liam? Oh, nah, that ain't gonna work. Alright. Alright, we'll back off from this for now. Alright, so let's see what's up. Yeah, and I play like different games, bro, so it's like if you look at the playlist or on the homepage, you'll see like I got like a whole bunch of other games I play. Okay. Nah, bro, I don't do shoutouts. That's just me being friendly, you know. Like I'm not expecting those shoutouts or whatever. It's like I know a lot of the YouTubers and all that. A lot of people they want like that sub for sub, all that other stuff. That's not me. It's just the place you come to chill. You feel me? Alright, so yep. So that shoutouts from like the heart. You feel me? So let's see what he's talking.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Okay, where was he?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed, but I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly.
Like I said, bro, you don't have to. If you want to, you can. It, like, you don't need to feel obligated or whatever.
Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth.
Bro, why you capping?
I found the Victor medication signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now. Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see.
Oh.
Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
Right.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Okay.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed, but I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly.
Alright, I think that's all the info you're gonna give me.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Hey, my fault, bro. You should have told me everything from the get-go, from the jump. Like, you should have told me what was up, what was happening.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Apparently not Elizabeth. Wait, am I drawing too much into this? Friend of King Frederick. He is a member of Mosaic Lodge. Oh wait, hold on. Is my screen being... It is. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to change the picture size. So that's why I can't see. So see, he had all the time. State. Pastor. Now I think about why would the Z be there? Let's I don't know. Wait a minute. Yeah. Lee. Oh, wait, there's an O. Fam, I just need a name. That's all I need is just a name. There's something glowed over here.
The signs of the Zodiac.
Sounds like the Zodiac.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
But how do you spell code? I'm gonna check this out real quick. Yeah, because the code's a 5-letter word. The Zodiac's a 5-letter word.
The alchemist is a young man.
What? Oops. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just like I really want to know, like. William Alex. Joanne Casper. Thomas. Fanny. Renee. Okay, so where was that one 4-letter I just seen? Cause they was talking about a cult shit. So far, Gene.
The signs of obscurantism.
Wait a minute. Trying to. Can't read what that says. Something that's close to his heart. That is high as hell.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
I did all that for some Carmelite water. Some bullshit.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Wait, am I going?
Golden elixir. The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever-obedient servant. So, Werner had a relationship with Elizabeth, but that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Pretty sure that's it right there.
The signs of obscurantism.
Something glowing around me?
The signs of obscurantism.
That's E.T. It's too many words. E.T.O. It's 5 words, yeah, okay.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
Alright, last dude is on Pierre then. So before... I know, I pretty much cleaned house last time. Wait, actually now I think about it, now I know what I know. Okay, I wasn't trying to do that.
Has finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When sir would like to leave, sir has only to tell me.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual? Pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Alright, I got nothing on that. Come on, let me out. I'm going the wrong way, I'm sure, man.
Monsieur Johann van Volner. Monsieur Jacques Peru.
Last but not least, the most suspicious one in the bunch.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
A pattern with 4 circles.
We'll hold off on it.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests.
Let's see. I don't know if we shall meet again at this point, blah, 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 blah. Snared by my own decisions. Huh? Wait a minute. Protected. Must be protected. My future is lost without you. Still can't be saved no matter how much bitterness you hold against me. Oh, see, he went to the party. Let me chill. I wonder how P. Diddy actually be feeling about that, yo. We be making so many jokes about like him partying.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
AKA Sean Combs. Nice, I got another golden elixir.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris, and there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
You are a horrible... What they say he was, like a cop or something? How do they get the hot water for this place? Alright.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Nice.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Wait, that had no... Wow. Okay, so wait, I got too much space. So I can use up some of these.
Dear Monsieur Perru, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Out of all things I could probably waste this on. Let's look these up real quick.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation.
Are you serious?
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. 2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, Deriche?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
I got another one of these, bro.
2 days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, Deriche?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Why?
Nothing. Get away from me.
Just as soon as you stop treating me like I'm an idiot. If you wanted people to think you were guilty, you couldn't have done any better. So cut the bullshit and come clean now.
I can't! He'll come for revenge.
Who?
No one! Just shut your trap, goddammit! Yes, I was there. Yes, I walked in her blood. You've got all you need to wrap it up. Now scram!
I know he really didn't just kick me out. You mad as hell. You mad. You mad. I didn't even mean to go in here. Whose room is this? Oh, that's Napoleon's.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. President George Washington.
Alright, let's check our room one more time before we present our evidence. So they want me to set it. They want me to set him up.
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Hold on, some busting right here.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate...
Alright, so for this go around, I could probably use the rest of these effort points. But yeah, someone told me not to go to Elizabeth. Especially when they're unstable like that. My question is, why would his mother want to kill her, though?
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. He's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects. Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
How did I not see that? Oh, shit, it's Parrot. Yeah, because I was like, yo, what is...
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions,
including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother had trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
I'd like to find a logical answer, but I just can't see anything. Apart from the fact that she might have lost her mind. Since I came here, I've ceased to understand her. That, plus what I've found out about her past, and I'm left with the bitter feeling that I never really knew her.
I can understand you beginning to feel that way after these past 2 days, but I'm sure all will become clear
Let him
once
think
your
that.
mother reappears. The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
I'm trying to think.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges, She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that? Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Alright, guys, so to check it out, I feel like because I made it seem like his mom was crazy, he told a little bit of truth so that he wouldn't look as guilty. So that means his weakness must be the same as Emma. Why is it saying? I know her weaknesses though, but yeah. I peeped that. That's why I didn't want to just outright like tell him the reason why like his mom probably disappeared. Because again, trust nobody. Now, as far as his mom being I guess crazy or whatever, who knows?
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
Who this? Yeah, shout out to Broadcast Chill. He in the live chat. What's good with you, Sam? Okay, so basically what I got from that is he totally thinks Louis is thinks his mom's crazy, so he now thinks he can sway me over to his side now. But y'all see that? That's why, like, I was careful with everything I was doing. Because in this game, you can't trust nobody. Nobody. Nobody.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
So it doesn't look like I can go anywhere else.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy.
So Godoy, I'm assuming is the last dude that's gonna arrive here.
Huh, that's me.
But this is why I was so patient, though.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Like I said, when it comes to being Detective Foss, I'm a real detective at these things. Because for many people, they're thinking like, okay, this case started when your mom disappeared, like, so you gotta have people on your side in order to figure out what happened. But in this case, I feel like it's quite the opposite, where it's like, where you're supposed to try and find people who are telling the truth. I'd rather assume everybody's lying. So that way, I can maneuver. I can maneuver like all of the bullshit, and then get actual facts.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner. There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Alright, so check it, y'all. So, his mom killed... First, to consult your notes. Yeah, so his mom killed Emma's sister to make sure something could never be found. Because apparently...
Raise your head and be reassured.
The fuck?
For what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in our rays.
Yeah.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Thank you, thank you.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Yeah, because I was about to say, that's probably something we can just come back to. trustworthy man with the sword. Sword can also mean pen.
What is this disc?
Oh, I saw what's the name stone?
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in our rays.
That is weird as hell, though. Y'all hear this man? His voice just got deep as hell for no reason.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Might as well pick it.
Open sesame.
Get my lock picking up.
It's open.
Some key fell around here. Cool, got more royal jelly. Pause.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
I can use the what's the name for that.
This is Cersei.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. The New Testament. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Rini. Amber.
Lit.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Nice. Got 4 of those now. There we go, because I'm like, I can't see. Be safer to communicate. Trust the man with the sword.
A volume of the Gutenberg Bible. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11.
There we go.
What's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Said verse 11. Well, no, verse 1. Yeah, I was about to say Bible, duh.
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
It's a chapter 1, verse 1. Unless they mean.
I say then, have they
chapter
stumbled
11,
that they
verse
should
11.
fall?
Tripping.
God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply. hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Youngest apostle is who's the youngest apostle? St. John's.
I guess I'll just come back later. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean? A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Dante's Paradise.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in our rays.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors, too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Alright, so number 4. We'll keep that in mind.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. There's nothing worth noticing here. No, nothing of value here. There are finger marks. deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, count in the dust. All right, let's do it. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
Hebrew 8.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us.
Yeah, I'm looking for 8s or 4s.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
It might actually be literal.
Clearly she must be trying to do something useful, but the what? Nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
Nightmare is a
Must
place.
surely speak of a place. Granting that this is the case, where am I to be found?
It's probably outside the manor, right? Why the balconies? I'd probably say that garden because I haven't been there yet. I don't know what a waif or wharf is.
Thought it would have been over there, but something's telling me that it isn't. I better keep searching. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
I did not understand. I didn't understand the message. Wow, that sucks. So let's see. Finally got something for questioning. But I don't need it now. So I'd say either, do I have anything for linguistics? If I can find that page, I'm gonna get something for linguistics. Let's see. Oh, I got one. Okay, so one for linguistics. Got politics, psychology, diversion, etiquette. Actually, don't remove it because I can actually do linguistics. So I could almost got science leveled out. Oh, now I can equip 3 manuscripts. Nice. Oh, I got 2 for politics. How good am I in politics? Because etiquette I got a level in, so I can use it. So I'll say I'll just use the rest for politics.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Sorry, I'm thinking if they're cleaning, that means there may be something around here. I wonder if Elizabeth Adams was actually a real person. You know, let me look this up. I was actually curious about that. Hmm. This is actual daughter, but apparently, like, she did actually die stillborn. I was just like curious onto why, like, why they kind of made this a thing. Is this it right here? It's not. Hmm.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Alright, damn.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis? About last night, I'm guessing.
Sadly, no. Even if I'd like to have, alas. There are more pressing matters. I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Don't send her on your mother's trail.
They kept up a secret correspondence, which makes me think they were suspicious of someone.
And did you find out who it was?
No,
Probably
but
yo.
Von Volner is mentioned. They were planning to make a quick getaway and were looking to hide something beforehand.
Have you got these messages?
Man, I really don't trust him.
Yes. Go ahead, take a look.
I see. I must say, thanks for your honesty, Louis.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
To be honest, I really don't care about his mom like that.
Emily, there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis. But I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. You're very kind. It means a lot to me. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see.
We'll speak about it later, somewhere safe.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for her, though. Like I said, trust no one.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
And this nigga spazzed out. Yo, this nigga Peru said, yo, I'm warning you now. If I catch you anywhere on the France block, it's done. It's like, you done out here. It's like, I'm gonna let my people know, like, you was not safe on the France block no more. It's one thing when you can't go around like a street, man. But it's like a whole country. And if that country you're home to at that means you got connections and all that. So it's like you can't be seen nowhere. Like one person seeing you is possible death, yo. That's crazy.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet. I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined. What?
No.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if
Gracious.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act.
Okay, so wait, yo, can somebody in the comments let me know if that's actually true? Let me look this up. You telling me you telling me a dude got guillotined off of 1 vote? King Louis. Guillotine. Okay, now they capping, y'all. It was 70. I was like, yo, you tell me somebody really got killed off of 1 vote? That's messed up. It's 70.
Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Damn, I should have waited.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But...
That's enough, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Why you just look at everybody like that?
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you, too. Of course.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Wait, does he have phones?
Hear you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes.
What the fuck?
We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
So he's...
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
The cat's out of the bag now. More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book, which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush. Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up. Well, I'll take a closer look, but I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchardt in Paris. Do you know him?
Indeed. One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once. Precisely over the case that concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another dishonest person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Volner. You're the one who von Borchardt was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Why would I say home? If I got beef with home, I could say, yo, this nigga's listening too.
Your dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away. That stupid, pretentious puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do not wish to be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
So it was home, wasn't it? I fucked up. Damn it. I fucked it up. But yeah, so that's good enough for where we're at. I'm gone.